Masculinity and femininity equal characteristics? Let me know in the comments. The reason I bring this up is because Ant-Man's Evangeline Lilly, she's the actor in Ant-Man and a few other movies, she went to Instagram about this topic and it stirred up a little bit. It stirred up a little bit of stuff. So she says, why are we only applauding masculinity in women and villainizing it in men? And why are we only applauding femininity in men and debasing it in women? Why can't we just allow for all of it? Why do we feel the need to vilify a man wearing boots, driving a pickup truck who's not afraid to punch someone in the face, but if they were a woman, they would be the epitome of cool? Why is a man who loves makeup, cries easily, and stays at home to tend to the domestic responsibilities valiant, but a woman who does the same is pathetic? I think the truly revolutionary act is as old as time. Do not judge. Jesus, Buddha, Lao Tzu, let each be who they are, and let us teach grace and charity above all things. These overarching ideas are far simpler and more effective than trying to juggle the minutiae of judgment. They are ideas that protect us all from the excesses of each person's vices while still allowing the expression of their self. Grace and charity are cornerstones of a thriving society and should not be abandoned. We need them like we need democracy, justice, and peace. And without them, we can't have democracy, justice, or peace. And she leaves a quote that says, in essentials, unity. In non-essentials, liberty. In all things, charity. St. Augustine of Hippo. And it's pretty cool because he was a Christian. So I wanted to highlight specifically the part where it says, why are we only applauding masculinity in women and villainizing it in men? This makes me think of the whole girl boss movement and trying to do everything that a man can do, and whatever he can do, I can do it better kind of mentality. And I think a lot of people tend to forget, like, there is a difference, and it's okay. It's completely okay not to be equal to a man, to understand that the reason, okay, well, we're going to get into my point too soon. But the reason is, it's okay to understand that we are not equal to men. We have our own traits as feminine women that we should be able to exhibit. And I talked about this with my interview with Callie, but there's a really, 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 really good book called Even Exile, where she goes into femininity and she talks about feminism. And if you have not read that book yet, I highly recommend it. I've listened to it twice. It's so good. We can go ahead. I'm going to pop the question up again so you guys can have it in there. But it is, are masculinity and femininity equal characteristics? And my point is that man and woman are not equal in the ways we are made, but that's a blessing because it allows one to pick up where the other lacks and vice versa. So it's totally okay for the man to be masculine, the woman to be feminine, and where one lacks, the other one can pick up. Where one is strong, the other one can take and add it to their life as well. And that allows for a good balance. And I think that's also just how things are supposed to be. But that goes into my Bible verse, which is Genesis 1:27. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. So male and female are created in the image of God. And in the eyes of God, we are equal, like he loves us equally. But we do have our own strengths. We do have our own weaknesses as well. And with those, we are supposed to become one and build around that. So let's get into your comments about it. She says, no. Men are the leaders of the home. That's the order set by God. Now the trans are trying to steal femininity away from true women. There's a lot of confusion in society that must stay out of the church. Yes, I would agree. And to your point about now the trans are trying to steal femininity away from true women, yeah, I definitely agree with that. It kind of irks me a little bit when things like the whole girlhood podcast with Ulta and Dylan Mulvaney, and how there was just a lack of outrage about that from like women, like real women, you know what I mean? Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Even in women's sports, like I'm surprised there's just not more outrage about it in women feeling like, oh well, we're getting pushed out. There's no way we can compete with a biological male, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's just my 2 cents on that. There is a caveat with makeup and wigs. If there is a medical issue, alopecia or breast cancer, then I support wearing what you need to boost your self-esteem and femininity. Yeah, I would agree with that. I think in those instances, yeah, it's totally okay and understandable. But in instances where it's like you don't have those issues, it's kind of like, okay, well, learn how to do different stuff. Learn how to do your hair. Learn how to enhance yourself without being like super extra. Okay, and we have one more. Oh no, that was our last topic. But we can get into, I guess, my final thoughts on the topics. Pretty much, I just feel like going back to the foundations and going back to, a simple life, simplicity is what can keep us sane in a world of so much going on. And I think it protects us from the feelings of vanity. It protects us from materialism. And it gives us a sound mind. So I want to leave you guys with this quote. God doesn't look at human prestige. He looks at simplicity of faith, by William Marion Branham. And pretty much be faithful, keep your eyes on God, and live your life like Christ. And I love you, and Jesus loves you more. And I will see you guys in the next Faith and Beyond episode.